Hello everyone, in this video let us discuss with the series RLC circuit with the different types of the inputs. Basically we have the two types of RLC circuits. One is the series RLC circuit and another one is the parallel RLC circuit. Okay, so in this video we will discuss about the series RLC circuit with source free. So you can see here this is the source free circuit. That means there is no input voltage provided here, that is input voltage equal to 0. So this is a condition for the source free circuit. Okay, and our assumption is this circuit is initially charged. It means initially it is connected to some source, then we are seeing what happens to the circuit when we remove that source and short circuit the source. So that what we want in this circuit, in this particular source free circuit. Okay, so let us take some initial values of the inductor and the initial value of the capacitor. So initially inductor is fully charged, so that means it is having some current at t less than 0. So that is equal to, let's take that as a I naught. Similarly voltage, that means capacitor is also having some initial voltage. Why? Because it stores the charge, it stores the energy in the electric field, capacitor. So that voltage, initial voltage of the capacitor, we are calling it as a V naught. So that we know V naught is equal to 1 by C into minus infinity to 0 IC of t dt. Okay, so this is minus infinity to 0, like that means t less than 0, up to t less than 0. Our main motto is to find out the response. Here in series RLC circuit, the constant one is the current in the all the elements, that is I of t. So first of all let us find out the I of t. By using this I of t we can able to find out the voltage across any element like R, L and C. So our main motto is to find out the I of t. So for that apply the KVL in this loop. So I am applying the KVL in this loop. Observe carefully here. So initial voltage, that is the input voltage is 0. Input voltage is 0, that is equal to current I of t into R plus voltage across the inductor, that is VL, plus voltage across the capacitor, that is VC. So let us write the equations of the voltage of the inductor and the capacitor in terms of the currents. Why? Because our main motto is to find out the current here. So that is 0 equal to, it is already in I of t into R plus, this is the voltage, so we can write voltage as L into di of t by dt plus capacitor, that is 1 by C integration minus infinity to t IC of t dt. Here one condition is simple thing, as it is a series circuit, IR is equal to IC is equal to IL. So all currents are equal, that we are taking it as a I of t. Okay, so this keep in mind. Now let's apply the Laplace transformation on both sides. Apply Laplace transform on both sides, that is 0 equal to I of t will be I of s into R plus L is constant, and the differentiation of Laplace is s into I of s minus, there is a initial current in the inductor, that is minus I naught, plus 1 by C. Again Laplace transform of integration will be I of s by s minus I of s by s plus, for the capacitor you will get the plus here. So initial condition, that is minus infinity to t minus infinity to 0 I of t dt divided by s. So this is the initial condition of the current. Okay, so let us divide this I of s into r plus L s into I of s minus L into I naught plus I of s divided by C into s is the Cs plus here 1 by s, take it as a common 1 by s, and C you can multiply here 1 by C integration minus infinity to 0 I of t dt. Okay, if you observe carefully here, this term nothing but can see this term, so that is equal to initial voltage across the capacitor. So 0 is equal to I of s into r plus Ls into I of s minus L into I naught plus I of s by Cs plus 1 by s into, this is the initial voltage across the capacitor. So this whole term is comes out to be V naught. Okay, so let us take I of s as a common. See in which terms we are having the I of s. So here we are having the I of s, take it as a common, so r, and here Ls, and there is no I of s here, and we have I of s here, so that is equal to 1 by Cs, and we are left with some terms. This term, that is V naught, initial voltage of the capacitor, by S minus L into I naught. So take these two values to this side. So I am writing this 0 here for our simplicity. Okay, so I am taking this whole term to this side, that is the right side. I of s into here r plus Ls plus 1 by Cs is equal to, it is L into I naught minus V naught by S. So from this I of s is equal to L into I naught minus V naught by S divided by this whole thing, R plus Ls plus 1 by Cs. Okay, so this comes out to be L into I naught minus V naught by S. Take Cs common here, so I am taking Cs as a common, and it will multiply with these two terms. That means RCS plus S square into LC plus 1. Okay, so next see, I am writing here, next step, L into I naught minus V naught by S. So this C of S comes up, that is C of S is multiplied, so we are left with the S square LC plus RCS plus 1. Okay, so in order to make the coefficient of this S square 1, I am dividing whole the thing with LC, or I am taking common this LC, so then it will comes to be L into I naught by V naught S. It's a simple mathematics, you can do on yourself easily. So that is L square, I am taking as a LC as a common, so then it will be RCS divided by LC plus 1 by LC. So this will be L into I naught minus V naught by S. So here C will get cancelled, so we are left with the S. So this is S by L divided by S square plus, you can see C will get cancelled, we are left out with the R by L into S plus 1 by LC. Okay, so this denominator is our characteristic equation. So this is our characteristic equation. Okay, so let us write the characteristic equation here for a series RLC circuit. So that is S square plus R by L into S plus 1 by LC is equal to 0. So compare this is actually second order system. Second order system. Actually we are having the two types of systems. Basically the circuit which is having two storing elements is the second order system. Like you can see in R, L, C we have the two storing elements. L and C are the two storing elements. If you compare with the LC circuit, for example, so here we are having only one storing element. So that is, this is the first order system. Okay, so this is the second order system. So this is a second order characteristic equation of the series RLC circuit with the source free circuit. This is a source free circuit. Now compare this equation with our standard second order equation, that is S square plus 2 zeta omega n plus omega n square. Okay, so here zeta is damping ratio. So these things we will study in control system as well. So this is the damping ratio, and here omega n is natural frequency. Okay, this is the natural frequency, damping frequency. So this is natural frequency, not the damping frequency. So up to here it is clear. Now compare these two and equate this 2 zeta omega n into S2, this R by L, then we will get the damping ratio. So 2 zeta omega n is equal to R by L. So from this, zeta is equal to R by L divided by 2 omega n. So that is equal to R by L, R by 2L into omega n. Okay. Okay. Here omega n is the natural frequency. So compare these two. 1 by LC, so that is omega n square is equal to 1 by LC. So from this omega n is equal to 1 by root LC. Okay, so substitute this omega n value here, then you will get the zeta value. So that is R by 2L into 1 by root LC. So after solving you will get R by 2 into root over C by L. So this is our zeta value. Zeta value is R by 2 into root over C by L. Okay, so let us discuss about the significance of this zeta value. Zeta means I already told, so this is the damping ratio. So what it indicates, let us see. So let us take one system which is having a response like this. These things we will study in control systems as well. Okay, so I am just giving the short introduction here. So this is my steady state output. So not the input, this is the steady state output. Okay, so let's take output as a C of t. So I have given some input to that system or to the network. So our network is RLC network. So for this network I have given some input. Okay, so because of this input I am getting some output, that is V. So this is I am calling it as a C of t, my response. This is my response. Let us draw for different cases. So for critically damped system, the response will be like this. That means this is the critically damped, that means zeta is equal to 1. And for underdamped system, the response something like this. The response is like this. Okay, so at infinity it will reach us to steady state. This is the underdamped system. And in case of the overdamped system, so the response will be like this. So this. So this response is for zeta greater than 1 and this for zeta less than 1. Okay, so this is the case of over damping, and this is the case of under damping, and this is the case of critically damping. Okay, so what is the meaning of this critically damped, under damped and over damped? In case of under damped system, like this blue waveform, you can see at the starting the output rises to maximum value and again is fallen back to minimum value. Okay, so again is rising and falling, but in this process what happen is, you can see it is continuously decreasing, and it is sure that we can able to get the steady state at t equal to infinity in case of under damped system. Okay, so usually in under damped system, like the settling time is usually 4 tau or 5 tau. Okay, so in networks we are using the 5 tau generally, and in case of the control system uses the 4 tau. Okay, and in case of this, in case of overdamped system, you can see the response, so it is taking more time, it is not reaching at the 4 tau, it is taking more time to reach the steady state value, so that's why it is called as a sluggish nature. Why? Because it is taking more time to reach the response. So but this is not the desired one, like this is like a, suppose we are having one mobile phone. Okay, so just we opened one of the application, we clicked on the one of the application and it is taking 2 hours to open, for example. Okay, so that is the sluggishness. Okay, in practical case is not happen, like we are taking care of this, so that is the case of over damped system. And in case of critically damped system, this is the ideal one, critical damped system, like it is reaching the steady state instantly. Okay, but that is not a practical one, so we are at least trying for the over damping system, so it will take 4 tau or 5 tau time to reach the steady state value. So that is the significance of zeta value. So this zeta indicates the whether the system is over damped or under damped or critically damped, and our main concern with the under damped system. Okay, so this is all about the response, input to the response timing. Now let us take different cases. We got the 3 cases, one is the less than 1, and second one is the equal to 1, and third one is zeta greater than 1. So let us discuss conditions and the current response equations of these 3 cases separately in the next video. Okay, so don't miss the next video for getting the exact solution for the current equation, and in that video I will conclude the series RLC circuit. Thank you.